this meeting, do they connect, do they go to YouTube and replay the meeting?
It's
Yes.
recorded,
So-
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, go.
so when it's recording, obviously they can't go back, but they can go back and look at it once we're done.
So I could go back to any of the Zoomed meetings of city council, and since I've never attended one, I could always go and say, hey.
Yes, all of the ones that are on our website, you can go back and watch.
Okay.
And it links to our YouTube page, so it'll probably take you to YouTube, but you can watch it there.
And how much longer will city council be doing the Zoom meetings? Do you guys have any idea?
I think they hope to have our next meeting on the 16th in person.
Mhm.
But we kind of take that on a week-by-week basis, so that it might be in person on the 16th now, but it might change next week, so I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
But we did have our first in-person court session last week, so that went well.
Is the docket really backed up now?
Well, no, our prosecuting attorney's been coming in, and some of the cases that were typically mandatory court, but maybe were lesser than others, he was able to plea through the mail. So we've been trying to keep on top of it, and we've been trying to keep the dockets a little lighter, so we don't have more than 10 people at any time in the courtroom. So, but it's not too bad.
Good.
Mhm. Whole different world.
Yeah.
Here comes Gay, and I'm going to email Pamela the information again in case she's having trouble finding it.
Yay! Hi, Gay.
It looks like she just has video. Gay, do you have audio? Oh, she's connecting. Okay.
Oh, it says it didn't connect.
You might have to do what I did. Leave and come back.
It's good to have this option with technology, but it can get tricky sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you all do a lot on Zoom, like Zoom cocktail parties or anything like that?
I've done a handful.
Hey,
Just kinda-
Gay, are you on mute?
I'm not showing that she has her audio hooked in yet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We need to hold up a sign and say, hook up audio.
Right.
Okay. I'll do that. Yeah,
Oh, and I forgot to tell everybody that with the virtual meetings, we do roll calls for all the motions, like for consent agenda or anything where we normally just take ayes and nays. We do roll calls just to make sure everyone has audio and we're not missing everybody and everyone at home knows who's that everyone's voting yes or whatever the case may be. So that's just a change with the virtual meeting. So I'll go through. I'm just going to do roll call in the order that you guys set at the dais. That's how I do it for council. It just makes it easier for me. So it's not in any other order, it's just the dais order.
Oh, and it looks like Gay can't hear us either, perhaps.
Funny, I could hear you when you all couldn't hear me.
Should one of us call her, maybe?
Oh, she's connecting to
Oh.
audio now.
Good.
It did not connect. Huh.
Let me see if she can see the chat. I'm actually using my phone to do the audio, so if one of you wouldn't mind giving her a call, if somebody
I'll
has their
call
phone
her.
available. Thank you. Because she can call in. She can use her phone for audio if her iPad's not working for audio.
Mhm.
Well, I had to leave meeting and start again. And if it doesn't work, you can use your phone and call in with that number. You can stay on video and you can hear it on your phone. So try to leave the meeting first and come back. Down at the very bottom of your screen, there's a thing that says leave on the right-hand side. At least on my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's on the top left, but
Oh, Dave said his is on the top left. And then come back. Go back to your email and click in. Dave, what'd you do? Maybe you should tell me what did you do to get on? Because I did it on a computer.
Yeah.
Okay. Just hang on. Dave, how'd you get audio? Did you use an iPad, Dave?
I'm on my wife's iPad, yes.
How'd you get audio?
There's just, how do we get audio, Susan? It's
Leave?
just-
You want to leave?
No, I don't want to leave, no.
What do you mean?
No, how did we initially get the audio? It was just.
Dave,
there.
maybe you're just
Yeah.
call in the number.
Yeah.
No, you click. There's something that comes up right away on your screen.
Oh, okay, yeah, we clicked whatever came up on the screen right away.
Yeah,
It just,
your video, you're on their video. Oh. And then maybe you're just gonna have to call in that number. You and I hang up and that number, let's see.
There's
Tell
usually,
her what the number is. What's the
there's
number?
usually a tab that says you can join with computer audio
Mhm.
when you first log in.
Is there a tab that says join with audio?
Yeah, that's what it says.
It's also, Gay, tell her that in the email I sent her with the meeting link, a couple lines down from that are some numbers she can call. If the one's busy, she can call the other number.
right,
I can send it again.
Okay, when you get off the phone, you should see it on your phone, the number to call. What's the number, Laura, that she calls?
It's 346.
It's 303? 303?
No, it's not a Denver number. It's a long distance number.
It's not
So
303.
that
It's
it's
34.
not. The area code is 346
Okay, 346
248
248
7799.
7799.
And then she'll have to put in the meeting ID. She'll have to key it in with her phone. So the
Okay.
meeting ID is,
Then you're gonna have to key in the meeting ID with your phone, which is, are you ready?
so I'm going to email that to her because if somebody's watching who wants to join the meeting for nefarious purposes, we don't want to advertise that.
Not gonna see it all that. She's got the phone on her ear.
So I just emailed it to her again.
She emailed you the number. Did you get it? It should be on your phone. Write it down. Write down the 2 numbers and we'll just get going, I guess. Laura, has Pamela arrived yet?
No, I emailed her the information again just a little bit ago, but I haven't heard from her. Oh, let me see. I have no.
No, the other number you have to do too. Once you get
The
into
meeting ID.
the meeting ID number, after you call the number you just said, then you have to put in the meeting ID number. Does it start 88, Laura?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's it. They don't want us to say it online, but that's the number. All right, can I hang up and then you do? Yes. But you're gonna have to hang up with me because you're gonna do it on your phone, aren't you? All right. Okay, bye-bye. I wonder what I'll call Pamela. Well, we'll see if we can get a hold of. I wonder what happened to her. Thank you. Pamela, it's Ann, and we're having our Cherry Hills Village Art Commission meeting, and we're looking for you. I think we're going to go ahead and start. Get online if you're home. Bye. Laura,
Yes.
don't you think we better start?
Yeah, go for it.
Wait, I've lost Kathy.
Oh, yeah, we should wait for her. We don't have a quorum without her.
Oh, Lordy. There you, Kathy, we're going to start. Kathy,
Oh, I
We're
think
we're going to start.
she's just temporarily on mute.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. The minutes. It seems so long ago
So
when I read them.
And let me just do roll call
Okay.
real quick. So Commissioner Lynch,
Here.
Commissioner Warren is absent at the moment. Chair Plumbus,
Here.
Vice Chair Schmidt,
Here.
Commissioner Finger,
Here,
and Commissioner Hall is absent at the moment, but we do have a quorum. Okay, continue. Thank you.
Okay. The minutes, they were in February. Seems like eons ago, but has everyone read them, and is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the minutes from the, when was that? What date meeting?
February 24th.
From the
February
February
24th.
24th moving.
and this is Commissioner Finger. I second the motion.
And then do you have to do roll call for us to approve it?
I'll do roll call on, yeah, on all the motions for this meeting. So Commissioner Lynch?
I move.
Oh, sorry, just yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner, Chair Columbus?
Yes, and Gay's on the phone. Yes, Gay?
Vice Chair Schmidt?
Yes.
And Commissioner Finger?
Yes.
Okay, that motion
Why
passes.
don't you just get in your car and drive over here to my house? Okay. All right. Okay, just come over here. Okay, bye-bye. All right, okay. Gay is going to drive over to our house. She's 5 minutes away and we'll do it together.
Okay,
Okay, let's see, what's our first, oh, the permanent sculpture.
so I have to apologize. I made a note in the memo that I was going to update, a note to myself. I highlighted something and then I did not update it before I sent out the packet. And that's just that the sculpture is currently on the June 16th council agenda for
Oh,
consideration
good.
by council.
We were wondering about that.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And
Regarding,
that's in person, supposedly?
Right now it's planning, we're kind of, taking it as we come, but right now we're hoping that will be in person. But we are, if that's the case, then we'll be trying to limit the number of people. It's a public meeting, anyone can come, obviously, if it's in person, but if only one or two of you would mind coming and not the whole commission, then that would help us to space everybody out in the council chambers and maintain social distancing.
Dave, can you go again? We keep asking you.
Let me run and get my calendar real quick.
And I've, see what you think, ladies, but we each have a person on the city council that we're supposed to communicate with. For example, I have the mayor. And what do you think if we each send our person an email saying, how we worked together to select this piece and how we're all in favor of it. And then if one of us attends the meeting, don't you think that would be enough?
Oh, sure.
So if each of you would email, I forget who your people are, but if
I
you
can send out that list after the meeting.
Okay. And the only one question I thought was Mike Gallagher worrying about Colorado artists, but they really are regional. I mean, Kendall, aren't all Colorado artists regional artists?
Yeah, I don't really know what you mean. I mean, we had decided that,
It's an artist from New Mexico. And
yes, regional, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
it's literally
they all sell regionally.
6 hours away.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
It's almost as regional as having him come from, I don't know, Salida or whatever. Like it's, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I think that, I mean, if that's agreeable with everyone, and Dave, does it work for you to go?
Is it in the evening? What time is it?
Yeah, it would be a regular 6:30 p.m. meeting.
6:30 on the 16th. Yes, I can do that.
Okay. Well, then we all will email our people, and I just can't imagine any problems. I mean, we're not asking for more money. We've done our diligence. I feel
So
Laura,
right now,
this is-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Laura, this is Commissioner Finger. When you send out our contact person, would you send out their email address?
Sure.
Thank you.
And Laura, were there any objections from the article in the Crier?
No, I don't think we've gotten any feedback either way.
Okay.
Everyone's been a little preoccupied, I guess. But also, I just wanted to let everyone know that on that same agenda, their council is talking about the city's current financial situation. We're, getting information, and Jessica is updating the council pretty frequently on revenue and expenditures and stuff like that. With COVID-19, we're seeing a little bit of a reduction in revenues, so the council is understandably concerned about maintaining that budget for the year and making sure we don't go over. So if there is any discussion about the sculpture, from a budgetary perspective, that's probably why, just so you're aware.
Yeah, and this is Kendall from Dare Squared speaking. I just wanted to give you all a little bit of advice. Public art in a time of economic downturn can be a little bit of a lightning rod. So I would advise you during your messaging to talk about how the budget for this was set aside long before COVID and the quarantine hit and the budget turned down. So it's messaged that you're not just going pell-mell and spending money on frivolous art versus, you know, real city services. I think it's really important that you message that. I had to do the same thing in Commerce City. They just installed a piece that has been 1.5 years in the making, and you just have to message it correctly. So just make sure that that might be a conversation and just be aware.
Thank you. Great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, Gay still isn't here, but I think we can move on. The City Hall permanent sculpture piece.
The John Mead Park?
No,
Mhm.
no, this is there anything more about this? Oh, I know what dedication. I don't foresee a dedication this year. Do any of you?
I don't-
Not
I
as
don't
it,
think- Yeah, I don't
I don't
think
think-
people will want to gather.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, it'll just have to, I mean, he sounds like he would be a great person to have and somehow next year fold it in, but I don't know. I just don't see it happening.
You guys could do a virtual dedication or something like that. You could just have a recorded statement from the artist that you put on your website if you wanted to. Just have him speaking about how proud he is to have it there, and you could speak, Anne or somebody could speak on behalf of the, just have it be a recorded message if you wanted.
Well, that's probably fine.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that next year there'll be more, and he sounds like an engaging guy, so we might want to bring him back at some time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe when he has a show here or something like that, you could bring him back to have a meet the artist night or something like that. But I think if he were to, just do a selfie saying thanks, to everybody and whatever, you could, I could organize that if that's something that you want.
Okay, I think that Gay may have just arrived. Hang on one second.
Kendall, that would be great for something on our website with Gilberto.
Yeah, maybe I could get him in front of his sculpture before he ships it and just say, I'm really excited that you selected this sculpture and it means this to me. And then it's just a little video that you guys can run on your website with your branding. And then it's basically done. So if people have questions about it, they can hear the artist speaking for himself. And if you guys wanted to do a little statement too, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Great. I'll
we
ask
could just-
Roberto if he
Good.
wants to do that.
Sorry, we can just pause for a while till we get our quorum back.
Yeah.
I think Gary has one.
Because I do some, so.
Okay. Gay is here. Okay. Put your little face in.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Gay.
Hi.
I'm throwing away my iPad. Anybody want it? Sorry.
Okay, we just, we're all going to email our representative on city council telling why we want Gusto. Dave's gonna go to the meeting to get it approved.
Great.
And I'll fill you in on the rest of it.
Okay.
Okay, we are now on to John Mead
Oh,
Park.
hold on 1 second. We've got Pamela coming in on the phone.
Oh, good.
Hi, Beth.
Hi, Pamela. You're in the meeting.
Okay, hi, everyone. My sincere
Hi, Pam.
apologies. I had some technical difficulties and I also had some really bad insomnia and I overslept. So I just apologize for the whole mess, but so sorry about that.
Pam, don't worry. This is Gay. I had
Hi, Gay.
technical difficulties too. So,
Okay, are we ready to go on to the John Mead Park permanent sculpture?
Yeah.
Okay. Kathy, you spoke with Susan McGuire. Can you tell us a little about that meeting?
Pretty much what I had said back in February, that they were very interested in a piece that was more interactive and more representational than abstract. And I saw in the minutes that I was supposed to get back to her, tell her that we were working on it, and that just went over my head. So I didn't do that. Then with the virus all hitting, I just didn't do that. So we're still where we are from February 24th, haven't progressed anywhere. And that's where it is.
Well, actually, I think that's fine because I want you all to speak up on this, but it seems to me that this, I thought Kendall gave us a fabulous list of artists, but personally, I think it might be nice to invite anyone from Susan, personally call her up and invite her or some group members of her committee to come to our next meeting, and also do the same thing with Parks and Trails before we start going through this list of Kendalls. So they're there and they have a voice in it, and we're all doing this together. So it really is a joint thing. I think we've had some issues for whatever reason, and we need to kind of make this a joint piece. What do you think? Do you think that's too confusing? I mean, I don't see any point in us going through it today without those parties at least having been invited to come.
I agree.
I agree. That sounds good.
But Kendall, it was fabulous. I liked 90% of them. It was a great
Glad
list.
you liked them.
Go ahead.
Oh, are you talking to me? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got a call in the middle of that and I missed a little bit of what you were saying. I apologize.
Well,
But
we were complimenting you because we thought the list was terrific.
well, I say, well, let's keep it in our coffers for any time you want a good list. I had a good time researching them, and I think there's some really terrific artists that with $30,000 you could really afford. I actually reached out to Sherry Sander, and that duck sculpture is only 18,000. So I think you guys could afford some really interesting sculptures if that's the route you want to go. I would say just keep it for future reference, and you can draw on it at any point. And the way I would approach it is choose 2 or 3 artists that you like and see what they can propose for you and have them design something very specific for you.
Well, shall we invite them, those 2 groups, to our next meeting and then start going through that
Yeah,
process?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Good feedback. Because there's differences in figural art about how interactive it can be. And I think that to go a bigger scale, there's also kind of more fun sculptures versus more realistic sculptures. So it really depends on the tone you want to set. So yeah, I would definitely invite all those folks in to do their homework and then come ready to talk.
Perfect. Okay.
Do we need to send them this list too before they come, or how are we?
I would say so, yeah. I would send the list out, and if it sparks anybody else to do more research about stuff that they like, that's fine. I welcome more input if people have artists that are favorites, for sure. I don't know that it necessarily means anything. I think that the main decisions to make are, do you want to stick with local artists? Do you want to stick with animals? Do you want to extend it to human beings? Because I think that opens up a whole can of worms. But it's just a great discussion to have with them, for sure.
It's okay. I don't need to be.
Okay. So this is making this meeting pretty simple. Can we move on to the next issue, the next art show and photography?
Well, who is going to, will Laura, or do we need a motion to send this list out? How does that work before we leave this?
I'll coordinate with Emily for the Land Preserve and with Pamela and Emily for the Parks, Trails, and Recreation Commission, and get this information out to them, get the information about your next meeting, see who can come, and try to get that all set up for you guys for, I think it's June 29th is your next meeting, something like that. So I will work on that, and I'll keep you informed if for some reason that doesn't work, we aren't able to get people, then I'll let you know and see what we want to do instead. But hopefully with this much time ahead to let them know, they'll be able to come.
Okay, perfect. The next art show, Kathy, you're on again.
Okay.
Can I talk first about taking Susan's show down, which has to happen before the next show goes up?
Sure.
Okay, so Susan and I have been working to get the show taken down. We were a bit delayed because of all the COVID-19 shutdowns. We were trying to get everything out last week, but we're really working on finding a kind of large truck because those 3 huge plexi pieces are so, gigantic. So one of her neighbors has offered up his truck. So as soon as that's available, we'll get the whole show down and then the next show can come. So hopefully that'll be in the next week. All right.
And I guess kind of related to that, in between Susan's show coming down and the next show going up, do we want to move Duke Beardsley's piece back into the main entryway? Will there, if you guys could just let us know what your feelings are about that.
That would be nice because when we took them down and relocated them into the staff hallway, that was a pretty easy job with Della, who works with Duke. It took no time at all, just because those canvases are strung on a wire with D-rings. So I think it might be worth it to have his pieces seen in the interim before we're able to hang something in the fall. Might be worthwhile.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Allison, will you call Della?
Yeah, I can contact her. Yeah.
Okay. Kathy?
Okay. So Jessica got into the crier, what was it, 2 or 3 times, I can't remember, the flyer about Colorado Through the Lenses. And that's what we were calling this next show, Faces, Places, and Loves. And at this point, and Jessica, you're still here, you can correct me. I think we've only had 1 submission. Is that correct?
That is correct. We have the one that I sent you right at the beginning.
And it's a fabulous, I forgot his name already. I'm sorry, I'm old.
Alan Lipkin.
Thank you. His photography is wonderful. It's really of Colorado wildlife and nature. It is really wonderful. So this may end up being a 1-person show, at which point we may not need to have the Duke Beardsley pieces moved again. I mean, once they're in place, we could put this 1-person photography show down that hallway to the city council room. What do you all think of that?
What's your deadline on this? Because don't you think everyone is just totally forgotten about all this stuff in the COVID thing, and they're starting to rethink again? I mean, it seems to me there's still a chance that we could get some other people interested. What do you think?
It doesn't matter. I mean, I have no time frame whatsoever. I was just hoping late summer, early fall.
Jessica, can you put it in again? Where are you?
I'm here. I don't have video. Yes, I can put it in the July issue.
And maybe something, that we've all been distracted. I don't know how you're going to handle it, but I think everyone's just been so distracted. No one's given it a second thought.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, we could do what you say. I mean, I think if you only get 1 and he's good, go ahead and do it. No one's saying anything.
Jessica,
I'm not sure we have a choice if there's only 1.
Yeah, Jessica, what do you think? I mean, this ad ran twice, didn't it?
Yes, it ran twice, and there are a few people that will quite frequently email photos for the front cover of the Village Crier. So I reached out to them as well and told them sort of what you guys were doing and about the art show. And it's not that they weren't receptive, but I didn't receive anything back from them. So Mr. Lipkin was the only one that we've actually received. So I don't know if the commission knows maybe photographers that you guys can reach out to as well and see if they would be interested. And I'm happy to run it again in the July issue if you want to try and see if we get any other submittals.
Yeah, why don't we try, Pamela, do you have any ideas?
It just occurred to me that one of my next door neighbors does some photography, so I'm going to ask her. But otherwise, I think that, you know, we have the two options. We can reach out to a few more people, or we can, if his work is lovely, then we can just use the hallway and leave Duke's piece there. And I mean, we're in an unusual situation, so I don't think we need to go too crazy, right? We can try and get some more submissions. If not, just go ahead with what we have.
Yeah. I guess I would like to try to see if we got a few more, like waiting, and the deadline was supposed to be June 5th. If we could postpone that maybe to the 1st of August, that still gives us, because the city hall isn't open that much, is it?
We're open full time now, our regular hours.
Oh,
You just have to wear a mask when you come in, and we're limiting the entryway to 10 people, but that hasn't been an issue yet.
well, I guess I would move that we push the deadline for submission to August 3rd, Monday, August 3rd. And at that time, we can evaluate if it's going to be a one-person show or if we get other photography. So
I don't
that's
think we even need a motion, do we? I think we can just do that.
okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
You just give staff direction. So
Sounds good.
just to clarify then, if that is the deadline, would you all discuss that at your August meeting at the end of August to decide what the next step is?
That would be great because that would give Jessica and I time to look over the photos and decide if they're worth having multiple people or if we're just going to go with one. That way we can bring it to the board or to the commission and give you all stuff.
Okay,
Great.
all right, sounds good.
Mhm.
Thank you,
Alright.
Kathy, for coming up with this creative idea and doing that. So it's gonna, I agree with Pamela too. It's crazy time and we're doing the best we can. Susan Cooper donation.
Yeah.
Allison, I'm sure you read all this. Do you have any, I mean, do you think she has a problem with all this or?
No, so I kind of wanted to explain the conversation that we had in early March. I went over to her studio and we kind of discussed the location for the piece. And our proposed location, which was right by the community development desk, kind of on that wall, it's a rock-faced wall, and you know the piece has the transparency, and so it's a similar issue we encountered with the Butterfield plaque. Is that you know it kind of detracts from the work when you're looking through it, and she didn't want any kind of backing there, so we thought that perhaps a better choice for that piece, a better location, was in that alcove where the bailiff's desk is. So if you're entering the village center, the council chambers are to your left, and then Laura's desk is to your right. Directly in that little area with the desk and the chair, there's an alcove. It's kind of a difficult place for, temporary shows. So it might make a good location for a permanent piece that can be seen pretty widely is what we were thinking. And so we wanted to determine that everyone was all right with that before we went forward with the donation form. So if you guys want to give me some feedback on that, then I can send it along to her.
It sounds like a good place as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, how large is her piece?
It's the little green, kind of map of the,
Okay.
so it's, no larger than,
Well, that's a good place for that.
And then I thought that as long as she understands somewhere in this, it said that if she donates it, the village actually owns it. So
Yeah.
whether it perpetually would be there, it's hard to promise something like that.
And we discussed that and she understood. She just wanted to make sure, it doesn't end up in a, in a back closet or something, which I'm sure we would never do, but she does understand that it is subject to relocation, based on changes at the city.
Is there any more?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And so the one other kind of addition to the donation form is that there's a section about leaving funds for maintenance and upkeep. And basically what we discussed, and I discussed with Laura Gillespie, and I think they added it into the agreement, is that Susan is leaving us with a microfiber cloth and plexi cleaner, and has agreed to repair the piece for as long as she's alive, so at no cost to the city. So we agreed that that was suitable for the purposes. It's a very low maintenance piece, so
That's very
just don't want to clean it with Windex.
very
Right.
All right.
That's it. So we'll move forward with that if everyone agrees on the new location proposal, and I will get the agreement from Susan.
All right. Any
Awesome.
Sounds good.
anything? All right. The appointment of chair and vice chair. And before we discuss this, I just think there's one thing we should talk about is, do we really want to decide the length of term right now? The only reason I'm saying this is it just seems like there's going to be a lot of change with Gay and I going, and Elaine already off. We need someone to take these roles, but I don't know if we want to put a term length on it now. And then when you really get together as a new permanent group, maybe decide. What do you think?
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there someone who would be willing to be the chair of the art commission?
Tough shoes to fill, Anne.
What was that?
I said tough shoes to fill.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it is.
Well, if nobody says anything, I'm going to propose Dave Schmidt. Would you be willing to be the chair of the art commission?
I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm the right person. I think, I don't know how long Kathy's in for it, but
Not long.
no.
I'm off next, so no. It's got to be you or Pamela or Allison.
And it isn't forever. I mean, I understand, but it just seems to me this is a temporary, you can make it as long as you want, but it can be temporary. And then when you get your new group together, you can bring it up again.
Right. I don't know. What do you think, Allison?
I mean, I would be willing to be the vice chair. I don't know if I'm the appropriate person to be the chair. I don't know.
We got a
We're-
vice chair.
We're looking for youth, and you've got that.
Well, if that's if I could do it, I would be willing to put in the work. I also can't guarantee the length of my appointment is up. I think because of the staggered terms, it's up next May. I've got the 1 year appointment. So if we agree that we can kind of renegotiate once members join, maybe we can talk someone with a lot of energy into it, then I could do it.
I'm okay with that. I don't know.
Pamela,
I can-
we haven't heard a word from you.
I know. I'm reluctant to take it on either, but of course I'd help out whoever is willing to do it. And I agree, like once we have a new group, maybe it'll be a little bit more clear.
Would it, this is a little
The natural
unprecedented, but
leader.
would it help if we did co-chairs? Would that make people feel better, like temporary, on a temporary basis?
I
Well,
think
that
so.
would
Yeah,
work.
kind of divide the responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that with Allison. That would be fine.
Yeah, I would agree to that.
Well, let's accept.
Does someone want to make a motion to appoint co-chairs?
Sure.
Sure.
All right.
Okay, so I move to appoint co-chairs for the position of the Art Commission, Dave Schmidt and Allison Lynch. Or maybe I should say, I move to appoint Dave Schmidt and Allison Lynch as the position of co-chairs to the Art Commission.
There's
Is there a second?
Second.
I
I
second.
second the motion.
Okay.
Okay, and let me just do a roll call since we're doing virtual here. Commissioner Lynch,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Chair Plumbus,
yes.
Vice Chair Schmidt,
Yes.
Commissioner Finger,
Yes.
Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Okay, congratulations, Dave and Allison, you are our new co-chairs.
You'll be great.
Look forward to it, Allison.
Yeah, me too, Dave.
Thanks for doing that.
Okay, now one last thing is the financial.
No, before we go to that, can we talk about new people? Like, because Gay, I called your house and I don't know if you got the message about your neighbor at 67 Charlevoix Circle. They has new sculptures out there, the one with the bird in the hand.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
At Digby?
At any rate, you may not have gotten my, do you know who
No,
that
I
person?
didn't get your email. Do you remember the name, the last name?
No, that's what I was calling you. I have no clue who that person is. I just walked by their house.
What's the address again?
It's 67 Charlevoix Circle.
Hang
I
on.
mean, my only book is from 2017, and I think that those people have moved since then. It was Lewis or something like that, and I don't know if that's still the person there. Anyway, they have some really unique sculptures in their yard. And the current one that they have is this big hand with a yellow bird in it, and
Is it the brand new house? Very contemporary?
yes, and they have very contemporary art.
I know who, well, I've never met them. They're not real neighborly, excuse me for being so honest, but nobody seems to know them, but their house is wonderful and I've seen the sculptures.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. I might just drop them a note in the mailbox saying, hey, are you interested? Have we gotten any other interest?
We have
Yeah,
received 3 applications as of this morning. So I've sent those all to the council members who volunteered to review the applications and recommend for appointment, Katie Brown and Mike Gallagher. So I'm waiting to hear back from them on how they want to proceed.
Yay,
Can you tell us
okay.
the names again, or can we not do that over the meeting?
We can, I can maybe email everybody. I just don't know since they're just applications if they want, I mean, I can tell everyone there. I mean, it's public record. They're public documents. So Sarah Anderson, Anne Marie Morrow, and Shenley Bertram Smith.
Shenley?
Hmm.
Well, I'm very familiar with one and she'd be fantastic. So we'll see what happens here. But I don't know the others.
Yeah.
Anyone else? If you have people in mind, please urge them. Because I just think everyone's minds have been other places and they haven't even thought about it, quite honestly. Like I'm sure, Pamela, don't you have someone going off to college?
Yes, and I have a house of 6 people too, because one of my stepson and his fiance decided to shelter with us. They came out from New York. We quarantined them for a couple of weeks and now they're with us. So yeah, it's been actually quite busy here. And yes, my oldest is supposed to go to Boulder, so we're waiting to see what the housing is going to be, and it's all up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. People's lives are just out of control.
Yeah,
Okay,
weird.
can we go to the financial? And Jessica, it appears that we probably won't have a dedication. So that's $4,265. So we're kind of breaking even, aren't we?
Yes, so what I'll do for the next packet is I'll zero out the dedication line and then adjust that for you.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions about the financial?
No.
I don't think so.
Well, good.
What about the art, Cherry Hills Trail Walk? Will that go on this year?
So I have a little bit of a question about that for you all. The land preserve is not sure if they will be even able to hold the barn party or the trail walk this year, just because of the current circumstances. So they would like to know if they do end up having it, which I think they'll have a determination on that in the next week, if we would be interested in participating. And this year, they're proposing that perhaps we're not on the trail, but we're in the Rady barn instead, on that side of the property. So, and I think we've come to a point where we'll definitely scrap the canvases idea. It just hasn't, it hasn't worked in the last 2 years. So I think we need a new idea, but new location, certainly. What are your thoughts?
Well, I like the idea. I like having a presence, and it would really be nice to be in the barn instead of on the hot trail and dying. But I have no idea for what kind of project. Have you thought of anything? And since all my trips are canceled, I'm at your disposal.
I haven't thought about anything, and I know that if the trail walk does go on as planned, that there's a woman who will be there as well I think it's a company that she owns called the Art Barn, and she does kind of like arts and crafts activities with a lot of local community groups, and she's been there the past 2 years. And she does a lot of, a piece of bark that looks like an owl, and kids can decorate it. And they seem to love the interactive element of, being on the spot, kind of involved in arts and crafts. So maybe we kind of take her lead on that and maybe do something, engaging and interactive rather than take this and, do it on your own time.
Okay. We have a budget of $70, which we can always up if we don't have the dedication. But yeah, let's talk about ideas and what it's going to cost.
Yeah, I'll let them know that we are interested, and then I can provide an update about, even if they will be holding the event, because right now it's up in the air still.
And just one more thing to think about, because if we don't have a fundraiser and our donation account is getting low, I don't know if you ever sent out a letter at some, just requesting donations. If it's, I don't know. We do need to raise more money, and I think somehow you have to think about it.
Yeah.
We're not having an event.
Yeah, and I know with the trail walk, if it is, not able to be held in September, that the Land Preserve had thought about maybe doing almost like a virtual trail walk where different groups provide videos about their organizations, kind of informational videos. So maybe that could be an opportunity for us to do something with the Gilberto Romero piece and show a video and get people, engaged and excited. That might be a good opportunity for that content.
Yeah, Kendall was talking about getting that video done, and we can always use it there and then put it on the website, or if they do a virtual.
Yeah, so just something to think about. Maybe we can work, donations in different ways.
That's true. Yeah, if we have that video, that then we might also use it, instead of just putting it on the city website, also use it for fundraising activity.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've got to start thinking
Yeah.
about that. Even if it's a small amount of money this year, everything helps that little budget.
Mhm.
We
Um,
could even have that. Oh, sorry. Excuse me, it's Pam. Can I
No.
just say one little thing?
Yeah.
I was just saying, maybe at the on our table in the rating barn, if we had a video, we could even have that just playing on loop with other information about, with information about that piece and other pieces. And then maybe we could have some fundraising envelopes.
Yeah. And I also know I've heard kind of that the land preserve is mulling over the idea of maybe not doing the art auction this year at the barn party, that maybe they would change that. And that's not final at all. That's just kind of, they're thinking through the barn party. So yeah, there might be opportunities for more things in the barn art related.
Oh, does anyone have anything else? We survived our first meeting.
Well, I'm going to go back to Jessica and the budget. So if we take the dedication event out, but let's leave some money in for fundraising envelopes or stamps, and I would say just take out that food and drink and redirect that other $1,200 and some to fundraising, and let's label it that, and that way we know we'll have money. Will that be
Okay, I'll make that change for the next packet.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you all.
Do we
Laura,
talk about?
are you there, Laura?
Yes.
Will you keep me informed about the council meeting on the 16th then, if there are any
Yes,
changes?
absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, and Pamela, I'm not sure you were on board when we talked about that. We've asked each commissioner to write an email to their designated council person about supporting Gusto and how we all work together, in your own words, how we all discuss, spent a lot of energy feeling that we needed an abstract piece, whatever you want to say, that we were in unison, so that when Dave goes, they'll already have feedback from each of us. And
I'll send out that list after the meeting to remind everybody who their person is, along with emails.
And then Kendall mentioned a very important part. I just don't know if you were here, Pamela,
No, I don't think so.
Because, well, Kendall, why don't you tell her what you said?
So just because of all the budget downturns in every single city across the country, public art can kind of be seen as a little bit of a lightning rod when you're installing it, when there's budget overages and that kind of thing. So just be very careful to say that this project has been in the works for some time, way before COVID-19 hit, and just make sure that the budget was set aside. You've had the budget set aside for almost a year now, so it's worth noting that and just making sure that people know that it's not something that we're just doing flippantly.
Yeah, I think I don't think that should be a problem, because like you said, we got the budget ages ago. So
Yeah,
hopefully
exactly.
that's not a problem.
The public doesn't necessarily know that. So it's just, worth noting that whenever you bring it up to the city council, that they can message that as well.
Yep, good idea.
Yep.
Anybody have anything else before we adjourn?
One thing for me, you guys know that also in July, bronze walking flower, eye flower will be coming down. So you may need to message that as well in the crier or something. So just be aware of that.
Okay.
That's a good reminder. Thank you.
As long as you have Kindle, since Gay and I won't be involved, I have to throw this out, that when you do art on loan, don't forget Searles, because he's got other pieces and he loved Kindle. So
I love him too, and unfortunately he's getting older, and I hope I hope he's with us for a little bit longer because he's a force of nature. I don't know if you saw yesterday that Christo passed away, which is a sad thing.
Did I
In
saw?
Colorado.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Christo passed away. Yeah. And I was really, really excited to see if he ever got over the river going, but that never will happen, unfortunately.
Okay, the meeting is
Interesting.
adjourned. Thank
Um,
you.
Stay
Yeah,
well.
I just wanted to,
Go ahead, if you want to say something.
yeah, I know, I don't know if we talked about attendance for the next meeting. I am currently scheduled to travel on that day. It's completely up in the air and I don't know what will happen, but I just wanted to make sure that's not going to be a problem. The 29th date.
June 29th. Does anyone else have any conflicts with that date? Will everyone else be able to attend? Okay.
Yep, I
Okay,
think
if
I'm
obviously
open.
if my plans change, I'll let you know.
Great.
Okay. Thanks, Pamela.
All right.
And we can
Thank
always
you.
try to have you call in too if that ends up being an option for you.
Yes, yes. I will let you know about that.
Okay.
Hey, thank you. Have good times.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.